Sesem acerot, iar ce-am ai lume, garune, sirune, etno sesem acerot, iar ce-am ai lume, Charles uneri havadatim iara, Artug nerova la perece se facera, Charles uneri havadatim iara, Artug nerova la perece se facera, Esa șparația atunci paneherana, Uzumei herana nu morana, Esa șparația atunci paneherana, Uzumei herana nu morana, Garune, sirune, Etko sesem acerov, iar ce-am tu ai lume, Garune, sirune, Etno sesem acerov, iar ce-am tu ai lume. Garune, sirune, etno sesem acerov, iar ce-am tu ai lume, garune, sirune, etno sesem acerov, iar ce-am tu ai lume, etno serit molor maten culciune, molor ghișer arsund nerovanciune, etno serit molor maten culciune, molor ghișer arsund nerovanciune, iar ce-am scris mihera nasirume, am sort nerăgarțumente iar buze, iar ce-am scris mihera nasirume, am sort nerăgarțumente iar buze, garune, sirune, etno sesem acerov, iar ce-am tu ai lume, garune, sirune, etno sesem acerov, iar ce-am tu ai lume, garune.
Negava da carcerim iara, ese canto merti galesim iara. Antre negava da carcerim iara, ese canto merti galesim iara. Te asunem galisem ce sabadum iar, se răschezi galisem ai anciger iar. Te asunem galisem ce sabadum iar, Zitalisem ajan cigeria, Torra teres vostum teras asiari, Teresetes de purna iuntoiari, Torra teres vostum teras asiari, Teresetes de purna iuntoiari, Te asumem galisem ce sabadum iar, Se răschezi galisem ajan cigeria, Te asumem galisem ce sabadum iar, Se-ți galisem ai antigeria. Duger que sin sama, yeser que sama, ari mi asingeran sirek me piran. Duger que sin sama, yeser que sama, te asumim dalice, çesna balım ya. Seres que sin dalice, mayan ciger ya. Te asumim dalice, çesna balım ya. Seres que sin dalice, iman ciger ya.
Good evening, dear parents and guests. Hayaren Guzing Sorving. We want to learn Armenian. But first, we had to learn about Armenia, the early history, and about modern Armenia. Then about the Armenians, the who's who's with the IAN. Everything you're about to see and enjoy this evening was planned, believe it or not, within only 2 sessions of our mini classes. That comes out to exactly 6 hours, 10 minutes, and 2 seconds. Just think what we could have learned with 12 hours, 20 minutes, and 4 seconds. But of course, we put in morning recess, lunch recess, after school, before school, during school, yaho. Well, you get the idea. Most of us enrolled in this class wondering, what is Armenian culture? The name of the class. Just about the first thing Miss Chitjian told us was about Mrs. Kirkshin, Mrs. Chitjian, Howard Chitjian, the vocalist we hear at the opening of our Monday morning assemblies, Mrs. Avadikian and Mrs. Varabian, our 2 parent helpers. Like Lika Fakian's name, they all have something in common. Their names end in IAN. Then we started to discuss about other names ending in IAN. Lika Fakian, Britt Peters, Lisa Vavo, and Alan Nanis will have a conversation.
Howard Chitjian. Howard Chitjian is a very well-known baritone in Los Angeles who has performed with the San Francisco, Seattle, and San Diego opera companies. He is currently in the musical How to Succeed at the Music Center. He is Miss Chitjian's favorite cousin. By the way, Howard and Mrs. Kirkshin make a good team.
Otto Parsegian. Otto Parsegian is a former head coach on the Notre Dame football team. He is a very mad man because he has just lost to the sensational USC Trojans. He has never been so mad in his whole life, the old Armenian.
Gado Yepremin. Gado Yepremin is a Armenian. He lives in California. Gado is about 5 feet tall. That's not very tall. He goes to Miami, Florida to play football on the Miami Dolphins as a field goal kicker. Most people just don't believe that he's just 5 feet tall. Even Miss Chitjian doesn't believe that he's 5 feet tall because Miss Chitjian's 5 feet tall. All field goal kickers are not very big because all they do is kick field goals. Gado Yepremin is the smallest guy on the team. Some of you don't know this, but the little run is on TV ads and some commercial and some variety shows. William Saroyan. William Saroyan was born on August 31st, 1908.
He was raised in Fresno, California of Armenian parents.
The first published story he wrote was The Daring Young Man on the Flying Trapeze at the age of 26.
The last book he wrote was the autobiography, Not Dawn.
Mr. Saroyan also wrote the lyrics to Come On to My House.
Mr. Saroyan has a home in Fresno, California, which he does most of his writing in.
His daughter, Lucy Saroyan, is a budding young actress both on Broadway and Hollywood.
He is living in semi-retirement in Europe now, but comes to Fresno twice a year.
Jackie Kirkshin. Miss Jackie Kirkshin is a singer and takes her time to teach music here at Dixie Canyon.
Mrs. Kirkshin is married to Dr. Henry Kirkshin. He is also an Armenian.
She has recorded songs such as Lerner Hayre Reen, which is an Armenian song.
Mrs. Kirkshin was born of both Armenian parents.
Mike Connor's real name is Krikor Ohanian.
Krikor is an actor. He has his own television series on CBS called Manna.
Krikor plays the private detective on the show.
Krikor is 100% Armenian.
Miss Chitjian has taught Dixie Canyon ever since 1947.
She has taught every grade except kindergarten.
Miss Chitjian makes sure everything runs as it should.
She's very nice. She's a very nice teacher and always very nice to me. Mr. Chitjian has been a prominent painter since 1937.
His paintings have been exhibited on loan or permanent collections in the United States. Judge Armand Arabian. Judge Arabian works in the Van Nuys Courthouse.
He
He is well liked by our community. Mr. Barbaretti. Mr. Barbaretti, whose mother's an Armenian, represented Van Nuys in our state capital.
Although he ran for governor, he lost to Governor Brown.
He now heads the Office of Fuel and Energy.
Senator Duke Majian. Senator Duke Majian represents Long Beach.
He has introduced many constructive bills for our state.
Both of his parents are full Armenians.
Walter Karabian. Walter Karabian was an assemblyman from Monterey Park.
Cher Bono. Sherlyn Sarkeesian.
Cher Bono.
Or currently just Cher.
Cher is half Armenian from her father's side, and her mother's parents are full-blooded Armenians.
Andrian Darbriel. Andrian is an actress on Maude. She plays Maude's daughter. Her mother is Armenian. She has been in a couple of commercials, and she is a pretty lady.
Then we all wanted to make our name cards, in Armenian, of course. But this led into a whole new thing. First, we learned that Armenians have their own alphabet. Renee and Brett will show you how we learned some of the Armenian alphabet letters.
What are the sounds of the following letters? But. Duh. Very good. Now, what does that mean? Oh, what does that mean? Dance. Good. Now, write your full name on the board. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. An Armenian that came to Armenian culture did not know one thing about Armenians, and this is what you get for 3 weeks. Mesrop is the inventor of the Armenian alphabet. He was a well-educated man, and it is said that he mastered Greek and Persian. As a youth, he joined the army. He later became an architect for King Khosrow of Armenia. Then, finding no spiritual satisfaction in life, he became a monk. In this capacity, he formed a band of followers and was known as a great preacher and a great teacher. Then he found this task very difficult due to the lack of Armenian literature. Realizing the indispensability of this both for religious and political reasons, he invented the world's most perfect phonetical alphabet in the year 404 AD. Soon after, he translated the Bible, which is known as the queen of all translations of the Bible.
The second week, we wanted to learn how to say some Armenian words. Mother. Renee. Father. Erica. Water. Door. Thursday.
Tutor.
Lady. Bread.
King.
Bread. Leaf.
Huts.
Wall. Renee. Hello. Brick.
Hare.
House. John Puzzler.
Do.
By now, some of us could write our names without copying it, even some of the other words we had learned. On the third week, we learned that Armenians are traced back into the Urartu period. Inglis will tell us about Urartu.
Of ancient Armenian, meaning Urartu. I'd also first like to show you a few slides of our Armenian class. In our mini courses, we had one session and a second session. This is the first group. Not all of us are in it. These are our mini guests in front of Renee's panel of Mount Ararat. These again are our mini guests in the hall, and all the pictures that you see were done by our class. This is the second group. These are all the people that you'll see in the show today. Okay, Miss Chitjian took two of the people from our class, Lika Fafian and Brett Gregory, to a observance of April 24th. It's an Armenian holiday. This is again a picture of it. This is Brett and his brother. Okay, now, okay. One of our mini guests, Silva, sang with the Alex Choir at the day, and she's in the blue dress right there, where Britt Peters is pointing. Okay, now I'm going to the Urartu slide. Most of these findings can be found in the British Museum. Okay. This is a picture where everything was found in 1938. It is referred to by archaeologists as the lost city of Netipoli. This is another picture. Our Armenian teacher, Miss Chitjian, was there. As you'll notice, these buildings aren't regular. They were built 3,000 years ago by ancient Armenian people. These are the walls of the inside of the buildings. Okay, the walls were made of many different designs. This is just one of them. As you'll notice, these designs are the colors of the Armenian flag: orange, red, and blue. This is an Assyrian stone relief from Nimrod. It's a sacred tree guarded by two winged goddesses. This is the bronze helmet of Suradi II. This is from Khmer Bleu. In most of the Armenian work, when they wore shields or helmets or things like that, they made very many designs to show how great they were. This is a more detailed picture of his helmet. This is a sketch of Suradi's shield.
Turn on the lights. No.
I'd like to give credit to UCLA, the people that did these pictures for us. A little poem told on the Urartu period, told by Erica Bone.
These are some flowers from Yere Puni. Yerevan Yere Puni. Yerevan Tartat in Yere Puni. Tu mer nor chuvin mer nor ani. Nepokli kochi tu met ziarazan. Meatari garo, meakari nazan. Tare Yerevan Tartat in Yere Puni. Tare yes ansel, pa eats munatsel, yes badani. Ku masis horo, ku araxmoro. Mita nas, taro Yerevan.
We concluded this day with Parag Hatstel Ba'ir and Yolo Shi, Armenian cracker bread, string cheese, and grape leaves. Most of us knew about the Tel La'ir, and some had Parag Hats, but the Yolo Shi was new for most of us. The fourth week we learned about ancient Armenia and territorial boundaries, and the present country of Armenia today.
Armenia is a republic of the Soviet Union. It is bounded by Turkey to the west, the Georgian Republic to the north, and the Azerbaijan Republic to the east, and a narrow corridor which extends southward with Iran. The Armenian SSR, smallest of the Soviet republics, has an area of 11,580 square miles. This republic is only a small part of the larger area that is traditionally called Armenia. The rest of the area lies across the border in Turkey. The Armenian Republic has a mountainous landscape. About 90% of its area lies at elevations of more than 3,300 feet. Even the southwestern lowland, which extends along the Erax River and into the Yerevan Basin. In northeastern Armenia, a large basin is occupied by Lake Sivan, which covers an area of 547 square miles. There are over 100 lakes. Armenia has over 300 rivers that are extensively used for irrigation and for the generation of electric power. The largest river is the Erax River. Most of Armenia has a dry climate with cold winters and hot summers. The people are about equally divided between urban and rural inhabitants. Armenians make up 88% of the population, which is over 3 million. Today, 12 institutions of higher learning have a total of 55,000 students and 48,000 in its technical and other specialized schools. Agriculture provides employment for a large number of Armenian people. With the aid of irrigation, the fertile lowland produces large quantities of cotton, grapes, and other fruits and vegetables. Wheat growing and cattle and sheep raising are important activities throughout the Republic. The Republic has at least 700 modern industrial enterprises. It exports some 200 different items to almost 100 different countries, including England, Italy, Germany, France, Austria, Belgium, and Finland. Mining and processed agricultural products are important.
Urban, with a population of 600,000, is the capital, largest city, and major industrial center of the republic. Leninakon is the second largest city with a population of more than 100,000. It is also an industrial center. A network of roads connect the cities, and air service is available from Yerevan to other parts of the USSR.
The fifth week, the last of our first session, was the week before Easter. So, of course, we colored Easter eggs. Only these were done the Armenian way.
In order to color an Armenian egg, first you have to take your raw egg, of course, and some Armenian parsley, and press it against the egg, and you take a piece of cheesecloth, and you wrap it around and tie it. And then you put it in a little bit of brown onion skin. And then you put it into a pot of brown onion skin and boil. And your finished copy leaves a fine imprint like this.
When our eggs were done, instead of colored jelly beans, we had colored blah blah beans, or candied roasted garbanzo beans. We ended this day by learning our first song, Karun, which Mrs. Avedikian taught us. The sixth week, which was the beginning of our second mini-session, we had more people enrolled, so we reviewed, and the new people learned their names in Armenian. And we continued to practice our song and learned it had a dance, and Anush would come to teach us. By now, Renee had drawn our poster of Mount Ararat, and we had our names posted below it, as I showed you earlier. So on this day, we learned what Mount Ararat means to the Armenians. Mount Ararat is also known as Noah's Mountain. It is an extinct volcanic mass in extreme eastern Turkey, overlooking the point at which the frontiers of Turkey, Iran, and the Armenian SSR converge. Its northern and eastern slopes raise from a broad plain of the Arax River, which at this point is 3,300 feet above sea level. Its southwestern slopes rise of a broad plain of 5,000 feet above sea level. Ararat actually consists of two peaks, each about 7 miles apart. Great Masis, the largest peak, reaches an elevation of 17,325 feet above sea level and is about 25 miles in diameter. Both Great and Little Ararat are a product of erupting volcanic activity. The snow-capped peak of Great Ararat offers a majestic sight. The middle zone of Ararat is covered with a good pasture of grass and some juniper. There, the local Kurdish people graze their sheep. Ararat is associated with the mountain on which Noah's Ark came to rest at the end of the deluge. A Persian legend refers to Ararat as the cradle of human race. In keeping with local tradition, a village was built at the spot on the slopes of Ararat high above the Aras River plain, on which Noah supposedly built an altar, and planted the first vineyard. Local tradition maintained that the ark still lay on the cement, but that none will view it because it is forbidden by God. Ararat has been climbed by several people, and they have claimed that they have sighted remains of the ark, but no real proof has been put forth to confirm these stories. I feel that someday the remains of the ark will be found. Until that time, it gives a lot of people a lot of hope to find something about the beginning of the history of mankind. On the 7th week, the teacher told us she was going to the Armenian Martyrs Memorial at the downtown City Hall. This week, we had a discussion on the first genocide of the 20th century.
As Brett pointed out earlier, the strategic position of this piece of land connecting Europe with Asia has always been sought by greater military powers. For centuries, the country was plagued by the Greeks, Romans, Persians, Arabs, Byzantines, and Turks. During the years 1894 and 96, Sultan Muhammad II ordered his ruthless reprisals, and an estimated 300,000 Armenians lost their lives in the first large-scale Turkish massacre of the Armenians. The Young Turk Revolution in 1908 appeared to bring a new and bright era for the Turks as well as their subject minorities. This optimism was short-lived. During World War I, taking advantage of the war situation, Turkey resolved to settle once and for all the irksome Armenian problem. April 1915, Turkish government inundated the first genocide of this 20th century. In a matter of months, over 1.5 million defenseless Armenians, men, women, and children within the boundaries of Turkey were killed. On April 24th, the leadership of the Armenian people were rounded up and exterminated. As we all know, if we ignore the past and do not even know about it, history will repeat itself. This year, the Armenians in the United States introduced a resolution to proclaim April 24th as a national holiday of remembrance to man's inhumanity to man. Those who survived the mass slaughters were compelled to leave their beloved homelands and seek refuge in just about every country in the world. In fact, on many international events, be it scientific, economic, athletic, or in artistic fields, representatives from respective countries, all with their own native languages, may find a couple of members carrying on a conversation in Armenian.
The adoption of the Christian religion in 280 AD and the adoption of a national alphabet in 404 AD stand out as the two most important historical factors which determine the essentially religious and national characteristics of Armenian intellectual, literary, and artistic history. As a matter of fact, Armenia is recognized as the first state to proclaim Christianity as the official religion. That is some 20 years before Christianity became the state religion of the Roman Empire. Another important date is May 28th. If you'll notice, yesterday was May 28th. After many centuries of slavery, on the 28th of May, 1918, Armenia was declared an independent republic during the Treaty of Sèvres, August 1920. President Wilson was to draw the boundaries for the free and independent Armenian state. Unfortunately, because of other international conflicts within the League of Nations, President Wilson's realization did not come to pass. Under the Soviet influence, Armenia was proclaimed a Soviet Republican on December 2nd, 1920, so it remains today.
Week, April 24th, the teacher took our 2 Armenian students, plus a brother, downtown to the memorial observances. Anush came to school and taught us our dance, and we continued to practice our song. On the 9th week, the teacher read a famous children's story to us, Yarak Asher Ner Eh. We were given our parts. On this day, we had Bonir of Borag, or chief turnovers. They were delicious, even though it was Miss Chitjian's first attempt. They were still good. By the 10th week, we had started work on our backgrounds and costumes. We continued to learn our parts and learned a new song, Lener Hairani. And from then on, morning, noon, and night, we have been practicing consistently, dancing and singing.
Hi, you cats, give me 5, dudes. Well, folks, sorry, it's not that play tonight. No, tonight we're going to have a play called Yerek Ache Yel Goldilocks. Garu Chikar Jamanagin Yerek Ache Gain. Ananka Brain Dan Mamet Zangazui Lene Mkov. Anat me Medzait Hyde Archne, Michaga Maid Archne, East Pokriga Bizdiga Artugi.
In Chamove, Asavan Vosboba Bude. Maidu der Yevakun Shida.
Maid Arche Abude Le Suchirek Hadbanam Gin Mech Vog Bain.
Whatever Sasif Pove, Asavan Samarin Hamad.
Hi there to be and the met Hallelujah. This time. A taste shot to the neck.
Hello. Yerek Achera Measin Tuch Yalan Kalelui to be Akin. Yep Anang Dunen Hadat San Pokrig Agchige Me Goldilocks Anunov Iran Stune.
I saborea Shatamov Elaloa. Oh, Shadaka. Oh, I saborea Shadbae. Asi Shadhamove.
Hello, Disav Yerek Had Atod. Med Atod Med Heidi Gine, Michaga Mighty Gine, Bazdiga Artu Gine.
Oh, Inchka Zera. Oh, Asiel Inchka Guke. Oh,
Pait Inka Zane Alulon Hasiv Nizdav Atore Godravatsav Kidin Ingav. Bokiyilav Yev Uzet Kidna Virad Inchkad. Hima Disav Yerek Had Angarin. Medza Heidigin. Michaga Maidigin. Isbazdiga Artugin.
Hartse Shadvera. Hartse Shadvara. Oh, Jish Shadhaimara.
Madab Ukanatsav. Kichero Yerek Achera Dunyagan.
Make me in Benagas Gradze.
Make me in Bagas Grade.
Make me in Benagas on Poche Gradze. Gatima Tita. Vai, make me in a Torres Brand Mustadze.
Amar, make me now an Ima Turis for Nern Stadze.
Ima Torres, I hear for sure go to that. Make me.
Yereka Miasin Eskensa Pendrel Dan Mitch. Sinyaga Jag Sogbaing Indave. Viraka Sinucha Sinyaga.
Bovim and Guginis mature.
Bovim and Guginis mature.
Hase.
Yereka Irant Akchiru. Chi Havarasin. Oskikun Mazarov Akchiga. Bargat Angarin Mitch.
What's in?
Pats Goldilaka Chi Gitsavyev Ankamano Chi Kanats Andarin Mitch. taking a little rest, to warm up for the next scene, and I'm not tired, so of course I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, I was just going to tell you about Camp Kesab. Now, Camp Kesab is an Armenian camp. Now, what you do up there is you eat, you sleep, you play, you do all that stuff. Now, on the eating, they have the best food up there you can get of Armenian food. They have Armenian pizza, Armenian spaghetti, they got it. Except, maybe in the morning you'll have, what do you call them, those flakes, frosted flakes? Okay. Now, then at night, you go to bed 11, 10, whatever it is, and you sleep, and you wake up, and you rise and shine, and then you wake up around 8 or so, and you go down to the place, the lodge, where you eat your breakfast, and you have your breakfast. Then you go back to your cabin. Now, it's in a cabin up in the hills, in the mountains, and you go up in your cabin, you rest, you get your toothbrush, brush your teeth, blah, 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 and you get ready for school. Now, they have school there. That's where you learn Armenian, like they have Armenian history, beginning Armenian, all that kind of stuff, and they have arts and crafts, like usual. And you get ready and you go to your beginning Armenian, you go Abba, Da, Ra, Ta, and you go on with that. Then you go arts and craft and you make your little key rings or something. And then you go your Armenian history, where you listen about Shlachka, Vashka, you know what I mean? Now then, after you've done all your schoolwork, you go up into your cabin and you rest for a second, clean up, and get ready for lunch. Now, they usually have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bologna sandwiches, you know what I mean? And so you eat your food, you have your punch and everything, and then you get ready to rest. Then you go up to your cabin, and you rest good, get your rest, and you don't have to go to sleep. You can sit there and look, amaze yourself. But you get ready, and then that day, you see what you're going to do. Like, you may go to the Y and go swimming, or you may go on a ski lift, go up those things, or you may, do anything. That night, you sit around the campfire sometimes. That's where you sing songs, land air, highland, all the same songs, Kadun, you all sing around, get hot, and you do marshmallows with the thing. But sometimes you have talent shows. Now that's where you got talent. Like, I've been in camp 3 years, and I'm not bragging, but I've won every single year. And so, you get the point. So you do all that. They give you a little cheap ribbon, I threw it out. So you do all that stuff, and then you go back to bed. But it's really fun, I must tell you. So if you want to go up there, just check with me. I'll give you anything you want.
Lezun. Kela tu chune truvil urish meg lezu. Pare gamu chun go hastavi. Yerp kosis lezun. Na kandrek liye. Ara china ola hai lezun. Vor le chune kirero tu chune servil hai lezun.
Especially wrote for the show by Miss Chitjian's father.
Garune, sirune, etko sev acelo, iar gaintu airumes. Garune, sirune, etko sev acelo, iar gaintu airumes. Charles uneri havadatim yara, Artık merhabalar sese bakera Charle suneri havada sim yara Artık merhabalar sese bakera Esas karas şakmuş bane herana Uzumeyi herana numorana Esas karas şakmuş bane herana Uzumeyi herana numorana Garun siru siru Esto se acero Yarca tu ayume Garun siru Esto se acero Yarca tu ayume
Stand for the party. You start.
Cartoon, cartoon, cartoon,